I think we get it now. It's the go to advice, especially from people who've already made it. And to be fair, there is truth in it. Hard work does matter. But if that was the full story, wouldn't a lot more people be successful? Because if we're being real, some people give everything they've got for years and are still in the same position, while others seem to glide through with half the effort. So, what do these guys know that we don't? And I promise, I'm not here to repeat the usual cliches. Let's actually unpack what hard work really is, why some fail even when they try, and how some people just have it easier than others. Alright, what actually is hard work? Hard work isn't about being tired or staying busy. It's not about the amount of hours you put in either. It's the intention behind them. Real hard work is focused, consistent effort. It's doing the things that actually move you forward, not just the things that feel difficult. Let's take someone to code, for example. They could watch tutorials all day and feel productive, but unless they're building real projects, fixing problems, and actually applying what they're learning, they're not growing. The same thing goes with athletes. Someone might train for hours, but if they ignore their nutrition, their technique, or recovery, it's just a bunch of effort without progress. It's like how Bruce Lee once said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. That's the difference. Hard work isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things again and again, even when it's boring. But one of the biggest mistakes people make is confusing movement with progress. They love the image of the grind, no sleep, always on the go, constantly hustling. But working more doesn't mean you're getting better. You could work a 12-hour shift in a job that doesn't get you anywhere, with no long-term goal and no skill development, and call it hard work. But let's be honest, that's just surviving. Or think about someone who watches endless productivity videos, fills out planners, makes to-do lists every morning, but never actually gets their work done. They're just busy and they're avoiding what actually moves them forward. So now you know working with no intention and no strategy is not hard work. That's just burning energy. And hard work only matters if it's tied to something bigger, something that's actually moving you forward. But here's an important thing to mention. Yes, there is people out there genuinely trying every single day and still failing. But that's not because they don't care. That's because they're putting effort into the wrong things. Think about someone training to be a professional footballer, for example. They train hard, they're fit, they've got the discipline, but they never study the game, never build any tactical awareness, and they never improve their decision making. So when it comes down to it, they're not really ready, are they? Or a small business owner who does everything alone, handles every email, every task, every problem. Sure, they're working hard, but they're not building systems, not marketing properly, not scaling. They'll stay stuck because they're caught up in the grind and never take the time to step back and rethink their approach. So now it all makes sense. Hard work with no direction just leads to frustration. And people fail not because they didn't try, but because they didn't evolve. But let's be real. Some people do have it easier. Someone born into a family of business owners grows up around money, decision making, and confidence. They're even exposed to ideas most people don't hear until they're adults. So yeah, they do get a head start, but that's not because they're better than anyone else, but because they're prepared from a young age. The same goes for people raised by doctors, lawyers, scientists, whatever it is. They're around certain standards, certain habits, even certain vocabularies that shape how they think. But again, advantage doesn't mean you guarantee success. It just means you might start slightly ahead. Let's look at Steph Curry for example. His dad was an NBA player, sure, but Steph didn't come into the league as a superstar. In fact, he was undersized, he wasn't particularly fast, and he wasn't all that explosive. But what set him apart wasn't his name. It was how hard he trained. He worked like somebody who had no help at all. So yes, some people do get opportunities that you might not get. So to summarize, hard work is key, but it's misunderstood. It's not about looking busy or making things difficult. It's about staying focused on what pushes you forward and knowing why you're doing what you're doing. You don't need to work more than everyone else. You just need to work smarter than you were yesterday. Because hard work alone doesn't guarantee you anything. But without it, you're not even in the conversation.